my body does not belong to me. I am not the owner of that body. And in fact, there is no body that is an owner of a body except God alone. Now, as I said, that is a legal statement. And in so many ways, the first result is that I, as a person, have no right to harm my own body. Because the body does not belong to me, I have no rights whatsoever over my body. I am, it is not exactly so legally, but figuratively, one could say that man has a long-standing lease on his body, but no ownership. So he is allowed to do some use of it, but he's not allowed to damage it. According to the Jewish law, it is not only not permitted to harm somebody's property or body, but even though one has the right to allow other people to harm his property, and when does anything to my property with permission, there is no blame and no fault about it, except some very what I would call it legal side effects. But basically one is allowed to do it. But if I give somebody else the permission to harm me bodily, this permission is not valid, because I have no right to give anybody the right to do me any harm. More than that, the same law applies not only to others but also to myself. As a person, I am not allowed to do myself any harm. In that sense, if one may go out of the strict area of, say, of medicine, that is, it goes almost in a Kantian way, because we say there that there is an absolute moral notion about who owns the body, and the absolute is such that is not only pertinent to others, but it means also me, myself. The law is therefore a very general law. The human body is not the property of anybody, and therefore it cannot be harmed or maimed or put to any other unusual use, because it is not mine. As such, other people cannot do it. Other people cannot do it with my permission, and I cannot do it to myself. Now, in so many ways, these things have many results also in the field of medicine. Because the question then is, almost any medical procedure, or many medical procedures, mean also intervention with one's body, making changes and somehow damaging it. The question is, who has the right to permit something like this, and is there such a right? Now, again, this question goes from the very serious problems to I would say, to things that are almost at the edge of being frivolous. But all of them are parts and particles of the same basic problem about ownership about the right to one's body, because what is the right, for example, for a person to go to a doctor and to ask to amputate an arm? What right do I have over my body to allow somebody else to do it? Incidentally, it would be the same problem also for the other person. How is he, even though he's a doctor, how is he allowed to do it? Now, this point about how or what is the source of authority is not just an abstract legal question per se. The problem of authority, of the source of authority, of the medical person, and of any other person, is also the source of the way how I view any kind of medical treatment. Now, basically, the answer would be, in a very general terms, that one is allowed to do anything in the body, for the body, as long as it is for the general well-doing and well-being of that body. Which means a person has the authority to amputate, say, an arm, if that means saving a life. If I do it because of some frivolous reason, then I have no right to do it. Now, that same thing, the same law will apply exactly in the same way for the other. There is no difference in that sense between me and the other, basically. So the doctor doesn't have a greater right to do any procedure on me. And in the same way, which is, we'll come to it in a moment, in the same way, also, the family has no right. Let me just add something else, which is, again, it is pertinent in this discussion.